Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Business Spotlight. Today, I'm your host, Todd Rodden. I'm a certified executive and business coach. I own Aspire Action Coach based here in sunny Southwest Ohio. We're thrilled to have you join us today on the series. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button so you can receive future inspiring messages like you're going to hear today from Mike Apke. Mike is the owner of Droners.io, the world's largest drone marketplace, so drone pilot marketplace. So really on the leading edge of a couple technologies here, and excited for him to share a story of his entrepreneurship and the growing marketplace that he's leading as well. So without further ado, Mike Apke, Droners.io, welcome to the Spotlight Series. If you could take a second, introduce yourself, give a little more about background, and why did you choose to be an entrepreneur, and why a drone pilot marketplace?
Yeah, Mike Apke, owner of Droners.io. Thank you for having me, Todd. Um, the entrepreneurship journey was interesting. I'm a graduate of the University of Cincinnati, graduated from the information systems, the business school of information systems. I was a software engineer for about 6 years, but I always had this nagging feeling that I wanted to do more. I worked at a great company too. I'm not a story of I hate my job. I need to get out of this. I worked for a great company. I enjoyed it, but I always felt like I could be doing more and just kept getting this nagging feeling like I wanted to take on some risk and really give a shot, see what I could do. That just could not get that to go away. So ended up, I did some side businesses and I became a land investor. And through land investing is where I became found Droners.io. I would use Droners.io all the time in my land investing business, and this is something I was doing on the side. I'd use Droners.io all the time for my land investing business. And long story short, eventually one day, this site, this drone pilot marketplace that I loved, just stopped working, and I found out the parent company went out of business. So I started pulling on some threads, digging through the weeds, and found that there was going to be a bankruptcy auction, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy auction for Droners.io. So because I love the business, I used it. I saw a hole in the marketplace when it was gone. I basically signed up, put in a bid, and went to this bankruptcy auction and acquired Droners.io. So that was the start of really the start of my full-time entrepreneurship journey. I had multiple side businesses in the past, but with shortly after I bought Droners.io, I quit my full-time job and became a full-time business owner, full-time entrepreneur.
All right. So, hey, one, you love the service. You saw an opportunity and you took it. So I love that. You're really taking charge. Don't wait for it. Make it happen. So if you could maybe share a little bit more now in terms of the marketplace, who are like your ideal customers here? Someone's listening. They should check this out.
Yes. So we have a lot of customers that were like me that used it before acquiring it, that were just land investors. A lot of people that either flip land, they wholesale land, they buy and hold land. But you often for these for when you're buying land, they're often very rural. And the great thing about droners is we have a massive marketplace of drone pilots. So we can get drone pilots out to any area in the United States. So land investors, we have a lot of commercial realtors for marketing, whether it's aerial photos, ground photos, interior photos, aerial video, marketing videos for their listings. And we do quite a bit of construction progress, so construction companies, roofing companies for roof inspections. Probably our biggest clientele is just the overall real estate. So either realtors or investors, but real estate is probably our biggest customer base.
Okay. Thank you. So very broad, many different types of customers
Yeah.
to leverage those services. So that's great. Curious in terms of the service you provide, what stands out? What makes you unique? Maybe there's some other providers out there. What makes you stand out?
Well, we have the biggest thing of where we're unique is this it's is the very large marketplace we have. There are very few companies you can go to where you can hire a drone pilot anywhere in the country. And our marketplace format allows you to post a job. You'll get bids almost immediately from drone pilots, local drone pilots in the area wherever you post that job, and you're able to chat back and forth with them. They'll bid. You hire them on the platform. We take care of all the payment processing, so everything is secure. So that's probably our biggest competitive advantage because nobody else is really doing that. And then you have the ability with that too. Instead of calling individuals, you have the ability to vet different people. If you're looking for lower prices, you can go for that. If you're looking for higher quality, we have portfolios and reviews on all of our pilots. So that's probably our biggest competitive advantage, and nobody else is really doing it like that.
So I'm curious, while the business has been around a little over 10 years, you purchased it a couple of years ago now. What have been your keys to growth since that taking that over and
Mhm.
and really kind of relaunching and repivoting the business?
Sure. Yeah. The I mean, initially, because it was down for about 6 months or so. So initially, the most important thing was getting the old client base back. So that was through ads, through email marketing, through we had a big client list, contacting clients individually, letting them know we're back up and running, we're getting the service back up and running, the software's back up. It definitely wasn't a smooth transition, especially buying from a bankrupt company and then migrating all the software from their servers to our servers. And like even we use Stripe for payment transactions. It took me over a month to get access to our Stripe account after buying the company. So I had no access to the capital, couldn't see, like there's just a lot I couldn't see. And that's just because most we had help from like one IT guy from the parent company, but it was like partial help. Um, so that's just a challenge. It's not like you're buying from an existing company where you have employees helping you. Like all the employees are gone. They're all hired at other companies. So it was a challenging transition. But the first thing, once we got everything up and running, was getting the old client base back.
So now, once you got the client base back, then have there been any other marketing strategies that have,
Mhm.
borne the most fruit for you as you continued that growth story?
Yeah, we've tried a lot of different client acquisition methods. Done sales funnels, and we also have a done for you product. I'll mention that where so we have a marketplace, and then we also have a done for you product, and I have editors on staff where we'll take care of all the logistics. You essentially pick a package, and we'll handle the logistics. We'll have our editors edit the photos, edit the videos, put together a full package, so it's fully done for you along with the marketplace option. So we've done sales funnels on that. We've Meta ads, Google ads, email marketing. I've done outbound sales. So I've tried a lot. The what's been best so far, and this is probably one of the biggest challenges, like how do we continue to grow? But what's been best so far is Google ads. That's been the best. That's been the highest return on investment. So we're really doubled down on that. And then I'm also going for like this quarter. In our planning, we've got a few different. I have a few different goals this quarter in the kind of the yearly planning, and partnerships is going to be a big thing. So affiliates, maybe some software partnerships, but looking at partnerships like that to grow as well.
Yeah. So that's what you see on the horizon. But Google Ads, you double down on that. That's been very prosperous for you. So that's
Yes,
good.
yes.
Thank you for sharing that background. So every entrepreneur's journey has some twists and turns, some hills and valleys. You jumped in at really kind of having to resurrect the business as well. But I'm curious,
Mhm.
if you look back now over the last couple of years, what's been the biggest challenge that you had to overcome, and what did you learn from that?
Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, initially we had the initial challenges of just buying a new business and figuring things out, not having any help. But since then, it's the consistent challenge is how to continue to grow. And what we've yeah, it's quite well, it's multifaceted. We want to keep improving the product, so that's a big focus too. And we because it is a software product. It's not really SaaS, but it's like software enabled service. So I mean, a big part of our growth is to increase lifetime value, and that's improving the product, making it easier for clients to hire drone pilots, to communicate with drone pilots through our software. So that's a major piece. But then consistently trying to grow because we've tried a lot of different things that just don't work. We tried outbound sales, we tried a lot of our marketing, and meta ads didn't really work out that well. That doesn't mean they wouldn't. Maybe I could do them better and they would work, but it's kind of just continually try things to keep growing and keep getting to hitting our financial goals and continuing to um, really our overall goal is to help as many clients as possible find drone pilots is easy, like have that platform where they can easily hire a drone pilot to do whatever they need. Like I used it before I acquired the company.
Okay. I'm kind of curious because when I think of your business as marketplace, right? You've got kind of two ends of the spectrum. You have ends. You're always looking for growth from a client, a user perspective, but also you've got to have a great bank, network of drone pilots. How do you
Mhm.
balance your time, kind of growing and supporting and managing both?
Yeah, it can be a challenge, for sure. Having people having hiring out some people to help me in certain things has helped getting some thing, but it's definitely Yeah, I think there's a balance there because you have to take care of you have to take care of the pilots too. The pilots want jobs. We want to make we want to. I mean, that's the other part of our goal is we want to make we want to be able to bring commercially licensed drone pilots as many jobs as they want or as they can get. So we're definitely as a service, we're trying to help both the drone pilots and clients. So there's definitely a balance there. How we do it is kind of just listen to everybody, try to help, listen to the concerns of everybody, try to help both sides. I think that's but it's definitely there can be like a push and pull on that a little bit. So that has been a challenge.
Okay. Hey, thanks for the background there. So now, kind of flipping that coin as you look forward, what's the top challenge that you and the team are trying to solve for this year?
One thing I'm really focused on is I'm outsourcing more, so hiring a little bit more for my team. Because what happened, what I do, and I highly doubt I'm not the only one that does this. I know a lot of business owners that do this. But I get really pulled into the weeds, like can get really like into little things, and like I want to control it. And it's like, okay, I can do that. Like I get into things that I shouldn't be getting into. So one thing I've done, and I have a couple business partners that are actually my brothers, and one thing we've done is done yearly planning, and we're really focused on okay, these three things. I'm the operator though; they're kind of they don't really work on the business. We work together, but they don't work on the business. They put up some capital up front, but we're really focusing on okay, like this quarter, these are the top three things, and then doing 2 week sprints. It's like this is what we're working on, and then so every time that I'm not working on that, it's like okay, do I need to be working on this or should I be working on this high level task? And like continually the every time I get pulled into the weeds, kind of remembering like say okay, this is the highest value task I can be doing right now. Let's switch back and let's stay focused on that. And there are times where you still need to take care of problems arise that maybe staff can't handle. So I do it's not 100% of the time, but getting better at focusing on the highest value task I can as the owner, not just the operator, but like as the owner, as the entrepreneur. What are the highest value tasks that I can focus on to keep pushing the business forward?
Well, hey, thank you. Kind of building upon that team. So, how
Yeah.
and you've got a growing team here. Maybe take a second to describe kind of the how your team is organized, and then what have been your keys to attracting the right and strong talent into the business and retaining those folks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, attracting is just kind of posting jobs on LinkedIn, doing my best. I would not say recruiting is a strong point for me. Um, it's just something I do. So I wouldn't say that's necessarily a strong point, but in terms of attracting, just posting jobs, talking to people, trying to offer fair pay or good pay. In terms of retaining, I like to give people ownership as much as I can. I like to give them freedom to do their job. I pay well. So that's probably the biggest things. And work with them and let them take the lead. And trying to do that more and more as it go on, but let them take the lead. My team's still relatively small. I have a few developers, a few full-time developers. I have a project manager. I have some assistants that take care of certain, other tasks as well. I've had some salespeople. Sales hasn't really worked out, so we've moved on from that. But I think the biggest thing, I mean, recruiting is not my strong suit, but in terms of retaining it's trying to give people a job that they can feel. I think when you give people ownership, the job can be a lot more fulfilling. So trying to, give them what they want to give them the job, give them ownership of their task, allow them to send idea, like allow them to build upon what they're doing too and improve it.
So now a couple of years in, again, you had, I mean, always have a lot of work, but it sounds like you had a lot of work, especially at the beginning, right? Kind of
Mhm.
resurrecting everything. I'm curious. Now you have some runtime with it. What's your vision for the future? You look, I don't know, 5, 10 years down the road. Where do you see the business being?
Yeah, going that far, it's almost a blind. I'd say more medium term, continuing to improve the I mean, the biggest focus I think to grow this business is yes, it's gonna be marketing, yes, it's gonna be partnerships, but continuing to improve the platform to make the product stickier, to just make it an easier experience for everything. And I think right now we have a great product. It's if you want to hire a drone pilot for your commercial real estate business, for your land investing, for construction projects, it's very easy to hop on and do it. But just keep making it easier and easier to um, just to keep attracting to keep the lifetime value going up. We want to focus. I want to focus a little bit more on enterprise clients as well. So giving them additional tools because we do have some very large clients. And they ask for some specific features. So working with that a little bit more, building the enterprise side of the business. That'll be a focus over the next year. Adding yeah, I think that's about where it is. If you go in like 5, 10 years, it's really hard for me to think out that far.
Maybe if you could, you use the term enterprise clients. And I know you talked before about land investors and commercial realtors, construction roofers, those kind of being in your wheelhouse. But when you say enterprise client, are they just really large entities that do that, or do they have a little bit different look and feel to them?
Yeah, just bigger companies, either like big commercial real estate firms. We have some businesses that they do marketing. So that they'll do, yeah, a big one is they'll do like companies that do marketing for commercial realtors. So they have like high quality editors. They'll put together a very nice marketing video, marketing photos for like a listing or a program, and they'll use us to hire their drone pilots. So like that, or a construction company that does a lot of construction because they're like weekly progress reports, monthly progress reports is very common. That might be a use case a lot of people don't know about drones. A lot of people understand the real estate, but just construction, seeing the progress from week to week or month to month, that is a very big business in the drone service industry. So companies like that as well.
Yeah, you have to love those. That's recurring revenue, right?
Mhm.
When you have those big construction projects. Great. I appreciate the added insights there. So as you look back now, and we have a lot of folks, entrepreneurs who are pretty new on their journey who take part and watch the series. What would you share with them who are just starting out, or maybe, what do you wish you knew then that you know now?
Yeah, something I always find when I go into I've had some other businesses. This is the first one I've been like full time all in on. And one thing I noticed, like you always know it's gonna be hard. You always hear entrepreneurship is hard, but it's all like every time I've done a business, it's always harder than I expected. And like just so that it's always like unknown challenges. You don't know what you don't know. And I think initially too, when you're going into the business, you have that excitement. So it's always harder than you expect. I don't necessarily think that's the hindrance, just something to be aware of. But for new entrepreneurs, I mean, I guess it depends on the position. I would say generally if you can do your business as a side business for as long as you can until maybe it surpasses your income of your regular business or it gets close to it, or maybe 6 months of runway where you make as much as your regular business. Because I have seen other entrepreneurs who quit their jobs and then they don't have enough revenue coming in from their business and they have to shut down their business and go back to work. So get to a point where if you want to do this full time, and I would not push anybody to be an entrepreneur, but if you have that nagging feeling and you just have that desire, like maybe you want to do more, you have a passion that you want to bring out to give to people, definitely follow it, but you can do it in a like iterative, intelligence, calculated manner. I think that'd be what I advise because I have seen a lot of people have to come back by leaving their job too early and not having that business set up yet.
Yeah, and that takes the stress level to a whole other level too.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
so I appreciate that candor. So you seem like an insatiable learner as well. So I'm curious, has there been a leader, a podcast series, a book that's been really influential in the journey?
Yeah. So I listen to yeah, I mean, most of what I read and listen to now is business focused. I would say I'm borderline obsessed at this point of just trying to grow my business and build my business and make it as good as possible, which is a good and a bad thing. But I think a good thing for the business. But yeah, I listen to a lot of Alex Hormozy. He's really helped me certain aspects of the business. And then outside of that, different sales books. Listen to a little bit of Tony Robbins' business. That's actually been helpful where that's actually been very helpful is with the time management. He's been listening to Tony Robbins a little bit more recently, and that's also helped me with I was saying the biggest challenge before of getting too spread too thin, caught in going into the weeds too more. So that's helped quite a bit with that as well.
All right. Great advice. Good channels to plug into. So, Mike, as we look to wrap up here, what are the best ways for folks to learn more about Droners.io and to get connected with you and or the business?
Yeah, droners. I say the best thing is just go to droners.io. That's where you'll find our business. If you need a drone pilot for any reason, whether there's real estate construction or even events, we do weddings. You can hire a drone pilot for weddings. Droners.io is going to be the best place. We have a LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that. That's at droners.io. But I think the best place to learn more about the business and we have is just going to droners.io.
All right. For folks to check that out. And again, all that information's in the show notes for our listeners to get that information. So Mike Apke, as we wrap up here today, you've got an inspiring story over the last couple of years, right? And I can see your passion for it. Curious, what are you inspired by today?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say the biggest thing um for me is I have three young kids and I want to be able to provide for them in a certain way. So there's a level of financial freedom that I'm inspired by, and I don't want to say it's not like I just want money and that's gonna make everything better, but being able to provide certain things for my family is a huge driver for me. Um, in the business itself, the biggest inspiration is just continuing to connect clients and pilots and being a platform for drone pilots to be able to get more work because there are a lot of drone pilots and it can be difficult. Client acquisition is hard. So just being a place for drone pilots where they can easily find work, where we have a lot of clients coming in and they can build their business through droners.io. So that's a big, yeah, that's the biggest piece as well. Just continually grow the business to help both clients that need drone pilots and the drone pilots.
All right, great. Good. The blend, not only family and providing there, but also greater service. Yeah, because you're right. Because you actually touch thousands of small businesses on the pilot side, and then obviously your business and corporate clients who are the users of the services. So great connections. Like, you have to thank you for sharing your story and the Droners IO story with us today on the Business Spotlight.
Thank you very much, Todd.
All right. And to our listeners, I hope you took some great notes there. And we're thrilled to have you join us. Again, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button so you can receive future inspiring messages like you heard from Mike today. And if you could, hit the like button. That helps us to share the message even more broadly. So with that, we thank you all and hope you have a terrific day.